Hey, Mark Royd Larson here for the Dreamcatcher podcast. Thanks for joining me. Coming to you from a beautiful day in Nebraska, actually about 50, 60 degrees. Tomorrow, chance of freezing rain, drizzle. Yeah, and then like a high of 4 on the next day. So one thing here in Nebraska, we definitely get a variety. But today's been awesome on a lot of levels, and hence the name of this podcast, that people are so awesome. And I have been showing so much kindness today. Makes me almost want to cry. And you know, the media, everybody would think that the world is going to pieces, and it is in places, probably no worse than it ever has, in my opinion. But people, I guess what you get back what you put out. And today I've been getting a lot of it back. I mean, I'm so blessed. And yeah, I mean, I just had these people write me a song about me, for me, and yeah, so cool. And then I have so many kind people. There's another gentleman down in Florida, two gentlemen down in Florida that are helping Cheryl out a lot, and I myself out a lot. Because I mean, might as well tell you, I mean, we still struggle with debt. I mean, it's still debt that we're still, working with. That was Cheryl's cancer debt, that went to do all the treatments for her. And, I mean, we had to do it because, I mean, that's the reason why she's still here. But these people are working on ways so we can get rid of it. And just such kind souls. And, I think most people are good. I mean, I think that people in general try to be good. And I think some of the people today haven't been raised. I think that's a problem with, I mean, I'm not going to get on the bandwagon of people not getting married and stuff like that. I think it was better when people got married because it gave the kids more of a big, a good beginning. Not saying that there aren't single parents that really do an awesome job, especially it's amazing when they're working a bunch of jobs and raising kids, and I have a lot of respect and admiration for them. But I think there's a lot of things that get us to be not people that are awesome or happy people or catching their dreams. And that's where I come in. And, I was just talking to my coach about one reason why I think people aren't happy is there's the lack of connection. We're more connected now and less connected than we've ever been. And the cell phones, whatever, are a great tool, greatly abused. I was just like the other night, Cheryl and I were out at a restaurant, and this family, sweet family, had two little kids that were, they were all right. They came over and to say hello to us, and they were awesome kids, sweet kids. And parents came over to apologize, which was they didn't need to. And the first thing they did is shove phones into their hands. It's like, that's not what they wanted. They wanted to have somebody paying attention to them. And you got to raise your kids so they become awesome people. And when they aren't taught how, teach putting a phone in their hand does not teach them anything except that they become zombies. This becomes their go-to. And they're not dealing with their emotions, not dealing with anything really, except that they get entertainment. And they know that if they're having problems, go do the entertainment. Don't deal with it. And I think I'm going to probably go out on a limb here. I think that's why we have more shootings, because the guns have always been around. The guns have, and when I was growing up, that was not a problem. And I live in a hunting community with lots of guns around here, and it's not the guns. It's how society has changed. But society's changed, but deep down, the people are the same as they were when I was growing up, my parents' generation was growing up. It's just the way the people have been raised or lack of raising. And next time don't go to the phone always as a time waster, pacifier. And because to become awesome, if I can talk, you need to really expand your horizons. And yeah, there are. I mean, you can actually do a lot of stuff on phones and computers and wherever. I mean, YouTube is an awesome source, but you need to not use it as I don't know what to do, so I might have to think. So I'm going to do the phone, and it's like time passes, and so does your life, and you haven't done anything. But yeah, to become awesome, which, like I said, there's awesome people, so many awesome people. I think as many probably as ever. You need to make sure you can deal with your emotions, and I do think that. I mean, there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of ADHD, a lot of things that when I was growing up didn't know about. I can tell you, there are times where I have dealt with anxiety. I'm thankfully not a lot. I probably had my worst case in the last year, but I'm very rarely that way. Most of the time, I'm in the zone. I'm loving my life. So, but I can see that would make a person not be awesome. But I don't think the society deals with it. Once again, I think it's passed off as give you a drug or something like that. And we need to get those people because those people are a resource to the world. Everybody has a thing that they were put on this planet for. I guarantee you. And when they aren't getting the treatment or seeing people or whatever it is, and I know it can be tough sometimes to find out what the reason is, but don't just shove them off with a pill. That's another thing I don't like about today's society. Instead of finding a solution, we have something that covers it up. And I turn off drug commercials. I mean, there are good drugs out there, but I think when I was growing up, actually drugs were there to help you. Now I think it's more to line the pockets of the drug companies. I think they've definitely lost sight of what their purpose is. Yeah, and then they charge what they do. I mean, that was when Cheryl had this Neulasta shot, which worked really well for her cancer treatments. It was something that was needed because the chemo was so intense. It was basically taking her white blood count down to nothing. So she had to have 11 of those. They were, which I would love to know what it cost, $11,000 a piece. I mean, it saved her life, but it's just like. So I don't think when I was growing up, I mean, yeah, there probably is a lot of research. But if you didn't have the insurance, I guarantee you they would not charge that much. And, insurance, another thing I have is Affordable Care Act is a joke. You never know if or what they will pay for. So you never know if you're going to have debt or not debt, because it's like if the whim they might pay for something or the whim that is like, oh, there was something that wasn't quite right, we're not going to pay for that. And yeah. And I digress on that. So it's just, people are awesome. I mean, sometimes I think the companies in this country, and there are a lot of good companies out here in the country too, in the world, that are doing good. And but I think there's a lot of companies that look at only the bottom line, and they don't really care if they hurt people. And I think that is really not awesome. And but getting back, I mean, I'm going back to, today has been awesome. I mean, I've got so many people in my corner. The universe is in my God. Everybody's in a corner. I mean, and I think when people aren't awesome, I think they're dealing with a lot of stuff. And when they're mean to you, I don't think I think it's like Cheryl said, kick the dog. They don't know how to deal with it, or it's their go-to. Because when you fall back into old ways when things get overwhelming or whatever it is. And I do agree with that. I very much agree with that. And I see that. But everybody deep down, except for the rare individual, is awesome. It is. I would guarantee you that most people, if there was, the people, especially around here, if you had a house fire or whatever it is, the people will go into your aid and help you out. And I mean, maybe you wouldn't see it quite so much in the city, but I'm not for sure. I have been in a lot of cities that I find the people quite nice. I mean, we were at in Florida about a few weeks ago. I mean, those people were awesome, very friendly. I mean, there's a lot of people in that area, but I mean, they were all very, very pleasant. Didn't meet really anybody that I didn't think was awesome. And I think that's a thing that it's like a lot of people in the city are all just, tied up in their lives. And it's like, I don't find that. I don't find it at all. I mean, Cheryl and I have been to Virginia Beach in the last year, which was nice. I like that community very well. A couple places in Florida. We were in Houston, Galveston Island, in December. It's just, and I've been to San Diego many times. And and Las Vegas. Las Vegas is awesome, and I don't gamble. Actually, it's one of my favorite places, and I know Cheryl told me next time that I go, she's going to come along on that one. And but I don't find what the media wants you to think that people are getting worse and everything's getting worse, and people are people, and they want to be included. They want to be in a group. They want to know that they're important, and everybody is important. And I think that's another thing that's going on in today's society. They don't make you feel important. They make you feel like a number, and that doesn't ever lead to awesome people. Because if you're not appreciated, you're not going to be probably an awesome person. And that's one thing that I'm working. I know you guys, if you've been following anything I do on Facebook, anywhere else, on these podcasts, that I'm working on this Dreamcatcher membership community movement. It's going to be a bunch of things. But the one thing it's going to be a community of like-minded people that support each other. And it's coming very soon. I mean, every week I'm drilling down to what it actually is going to be. And I do these podcasts a lot after I've just met my coach, Crystal. And the stuff that we're coming up with, it's going to be so awesome. I mean, and I know I use that word way too much. I'm Mr. Awesome. And people call me that too. I guess our worst things could be called. But no, I see awesome people struggling all the time, especially where they don't have the support like they did when in my time growing up, or my parents or my grandparents, where you had community and you had people to count on. And we do still have that. I mean, I have a great network of people that support me. I'm like I said, I am so blessed. But I think a lot of people don't, and they go on their own. And that's tough. In fact, I can't imagine a lot of times being just on your own, trying to go through life, trying to figure it out. Because even in my age, I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know if a person ever really does figure it out. It's an evolving thing, and it's cool. But, yeah, I think you need the support of loved ones, friends, best friends, whatever way you can get support, I think. And we're lacking so much on that, because that is one thing with everybody on the phone. Well, like on the planes, when Cheryl and I were coming back from Florida the other day. Nobody wanted to talk. It used to be you could have great conversations with the person right next to you. In fact, one of the trips that came back from Vegas, he was actually a professional poker player from Germany. Oh, really cool guy. And he was on his way to Cabo for a month. So poker must have been good for him in Vegas. But it's just like we talked the whole time. And I think people, when they avoid that, and they use the phone as a pacifier, or a thing that I'm busy, I don't need to talk, or they won't look at you. And it's just like, if you have no connection, you're going to be probably living a sad life. I don't know if that's the right word, but not the best life ever, not your best life. And like I said, the phone is a tool, but it shouldn't be abused. Like most technology is abused. And, the TV is, it has been for decades. Certainly I don't personally watch hardly any TV. You can ask Jesse Nielsen, the one I did. He was on my podcast the other day, and I was going to be on his podcast. I did an episode for him on this past Sunday. And it's always awesome doing a podcast with Jesse. But, I think the TV is a thing that is a distraction from getting you to really do what you need to do. Because a lot of times the stuff that to make you be great, be awesome, is work. And I'm pretty sure it always is work. But, and when you do that work, you become a better person, which believe you're a better person to society. You're a better person to yourself. You're a better person to your friends. And I think that is the case. And then I also know people that... and I think that's also a misinformation, too, that they think they need to grind into today's society. And I can tell you right now, you don't. If you're grinding, you're not doing the right thing. And I've said that many times. If you're in flow, I agree, you're probably right where you should be. But, Cheryl and I went out for breakfast today. I've been doing stuff around the house. I've done a session with my coach. I'm doing this podcast. Now, that's been flow, because I love this. This is my best life. Living the life and doing the work. And people are like, so when do you work and when do you play? And it's like, they're all one and the same. So I'm in flow. My life is great because Cheryl and I celebrate each day. And I do these things which don't seem like work at all. And this community of the Dreamcatcher community, is going to be the same way. And I'm really going to emphasize the community. We need to have people, a group of people around the world that support each other. I think this world needs it more than ever. And Cheryl and I know you, if you've listened to my podcast, Cheryl and I like to travel. We were just talking about the other day about being in Florida. Well, right now, Italy is calling Cheryl and I greatly this year. Not for sure why, but yeah, I think that could possibly be this year. And we do pop-up communities, pop-up podcasts, pop-up, and have these communities all over the world. What could be better? You're traveling and you're meeting new people and you're helping people. It's a win-win-win all the way along. So can you tell I get pumped on this? I love my life. And yeah. And then the other day, switching gears, but another thing I love in my life, Caleb, my personal trainer over at the Y, told me that because of what I had done on Facebook, some of the promotions that I've done for the Y, that one of my fellow classmates was going to start training with Caleb. And that made my day. I mean, it's helping people. And that's what I do. I love people. And anybody who thinks I don't, maybe I love too hard, but I do. And I can be overwhelming. And I'm not going to apologize for being that way. But sometimes I think maybe I drive people away, and I'm sorry about that part. So, yeah. But anyway, getting back to people are awesome, and they are. And don't ever let anybody convince you otherwise. There's going to be a few bad apples, just like in the weather, there's a few bad days. But you know what? They make you appreciate the good people, and that's the majority. And I feel sorry for these people that commit these shootings, because I think in our society we're missing so much of the connection. Maybe if they had a connection, they would have been diagnosed earlier that they had something going wrong mentally. I'm working, I'm actually interviewing this gal that potentially might be on my podcast in a few weeks, who deals with mental illness. And so far, I meet with her Thursday, but she seems really cool. And it's such a needed thing in this society. And I can understand the mental illness. It's tough. It's tough, especially when you don't have a connection. And even then, sometimes it's just, what you have, just like any other illness. And I think it's overlooked many times because there's still a stigma that, mental illness. And I don't know why that is, because it's just something that needs to be looked at and help these people so they can live as much of a normal life as possible. So, but no, she, I think will be a very good guest. And yeah, we're gonna talk on Thursday and see how this goes forward. But actually, I have a lot of really cool people coming up on the podcast. Won't just be me. And although I know you guys probably just like hearing me, yeah. So yeah, you do, but I probably only to a point. So, but that's awesome too. So, and I'm probably going to let you go. Actually, it's still nice, so I'm going to go out and finish doing this podcast and probably go outside for a little bit and enjoy the 60-degree weather before the Arctic air gets here. And don't ever think that you are alone in this world. Don't think that people are not awesome. If you haven't found those kind of people, when I get Dreamcatcher, the community open, please come and join the community. I don't want anybody to be feeling lonely or sad or not knowing what's the next step to do. And I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, or any of that stuff. I can't have that. But I can sure support and have a lending ear, and I have a big heart. Like I said, I love people and I want to help them any way I can. And if I think there's something that somebody else that I know could do, because I have a lot of people that I could direct people to if they're having, an issue, and would do that. So on that, I'm going to let you go. But thanks for listening to this episode. And yeah, just keep being awesome. And we'll talk to you next week. Bye.